All righty. Well, welcome everybody to our Thursday night team Zoom. I'm super excited to be on with you guys today. For anybody who is brand new, I see a lot of familiar faces, but if there is anybody brand new that's on, my name is Crystal Pearl. I am one of your Ambassador Diamond uplines. This is my husband, Josh.
What's happening?
And this is something that we do every single week. This is really our time to come together as a team, and really our intentions for doing these Zooms are to give you a tip or something that you can walk away with that you can implement into your business during the week to really help you to grow your business. So we really try to give you things that you can actually physically do to grow your business. So it's a really hands-on type of thing. And then something we just started after the new year actually is, so for the first 30 minutes or so, you're going to have content. We're going to give you some training. And then for the last 30, we end with a power 30. So every week, make sure that you're hopping on with your hundreds list, people that you want to connect with, because that last Power 30, Christina Tree is going to be leading us tonight, Presidential Diamond, and we just work together for 30 minutes, and it's a great way that we can kind of end out the night strong and put some action in. So I love that we're doing that. I think it's awesome. So what we're going to talk to you guys about tonight is about how to do a Facebook Live and how to do a Facebook Live well, because I think, Facebook Live is such a powerful tool for your business, especially if you're building on social media. But I also know that one of the biggest fears out there is public speaking, and that Facebook Lives can be scary. You're putting yourself out there. It's so much different than just writing up a post. But again, like I said, it is such a powerful tool because one, Facebook loves Facebook Live. It's a feature that they came out with. They want you to use it, and they're going to show your Facebook Lives to the majority of your network. So it gets seen above anything else out there. So you really want to make sure that you're taking advantage of that because you want to be seen by your network. And so it's really important. And then another thing that we were talking about when we were kind of talking about what we wanted to mention on the Zoom tonight is that one thing that's really cool about Facebook Live is that it shows you as a real person. So, your network, your warm network, when you first get started in this business, so your warm network is people that you're friends with, you already have a relationship with, they might know you already. But eventually, as you grow in this business and as you network, you're going to start adding people to your Facebook and to your network that don't really know you. They just know you as another person on Facebook. So with Facebook Live, what's cool is that people can get to know you. They can get to see that you are a real person, that you're not just somebody behind a screen, and it really takes it from being that Facebook friend, it just makes it feel a little bit more personal. They feel like they are a part of your life and that they really are getting a chance to get to know you. And one thing we were saying is that, even though you might be starting with doing Facebook Lives and you might feel really uncomfortable, what's so cool is that for you to be successful in this business, you have to grow and become more. And so if you start doing Facebook Lives, people are going to start seeing that growth in you, and they're going to be really drawn to that because they're going to say, okay, you started this business, maybe it's a physical change. They start seeing you shrinking down or just looking more healthier. Your hair is getting super thick and long. You're looking younger, whatever it may be. Or it could just be that they see your confidence growing through this business. They see that you're having a lot of fun, that every time you come on, you're more passionate, more excited. And that's really going to speak volumes to
Definitely.
people.
If your network sees the growth that's happening in you, that's very huge for them to be part of that progress.
Yep, absolutely. So, okay, so I'm going to start with, what in the world do you do lives on? Because that's a question that I get all the time. They're like, people say, I want to do Facebook Lives, but I have no idea what to do. And also, it's important that you're not just doing them about It Works 24/7. You're not just doing them about business things 24/7. You want to keep it a good mix of all sorts of different things. And you can definitely throw plugs for It Works in there or have your gear on. I always definitely try to do that. So I'm always incorporating It Works into my lives in some way or form, shape or form. But so I just want to give you a few ideas. So an idea for you all should have a notebook, pen and paper right now, but definitely if you don't, grab one, because these will just be good notes for you to kind of go back through if you're thinking like, oh, I want to do a live today and I don't know what to do. So first and foremost, share about your story. Where are you coming from? And you really get to decide how much you want to share about your story. If you have a really crazy past and you're not comfortable sharing that deep into it yet, that's totally fine. Just share your basic story, your past, where you're coming from, why you decided to jump on board, and what you're excited about for the future. We've talked a lot about on our team page about how to share your story and steps to share your story, so definitely use that outline. If you don't know about that, reach out to me and I can give you that outline. But share your story with your network. That makes for a great Facebook Live. Share the results you're having or how things are going on your journey with the products. That's a huge one. I know for me, when the What the Fit movement came out, it was just such a great way to talk about here's the package I'm getting, here's what I'm going to do. And so that's something that I've been coming on live about and sharing just a little bit about what I'm experiencing and what I'm excited about. But share your results and how things are going. And, 1 week, it might be that you get on and you say, I had a tough week this week. I sucked. But you know what? That's life. And sometimes that happens. And I'm not going to let that get me down. Maybe talk about that. Like, can anybody relate to this? It was a tough week, but here's what I'm going to do about it. Because you know what? That shows that you're a real person and people can relate to that. So that's a great thing to go live about. Share testimonies, customers' results. If you're ever talking to a customer and they're like, oh my gosh, this is what's happening, I'm so excited, instead of just doing a post, go on and talk live about that. I just have to tell you, I just talked to one of my customers. She started on the Fit 5, and I just have to share with you what she said she's experiencing. This is a little bit about what the Fit 5 is and how it's working, and I'm so excited for these results to keep coming in. Really great live there. Share about recipes that you love. If you are, you try a new recipe with the shake, or, go on and talk about your keto coffee. If you're putting the shake in it, or you're putting the greens in it, or if a lot of people are doing like keto recipes right now, go on and say, oh my gosh, I made the best dinner tonight. I just have to tell you guys about it if you want to make it. Or it doesn't even have to be a healthy recipe. I know, like for me, around Christmas time, I did a live with my daughters, and we shared how to make these little pretzel dessert things. And in there, it wasn't in It Works live by any means, but I definitely pulled out my fat fighters and I said, and I'm definitely really thankful for these bad boys right now. And I just shared with them about that recipe. Go on and ask questions. A couple weeks ago, I went on and I asked about who on my Facebook has done fasting, or IF, which is intermittent fasting. I just kind of asked some questions about that. I gave a few points on things that I've learned so far and why I was interested in it and why I was excited to learn more. But that was awesome because I had, I think, like 4 or 5 people that inboxed me from that live video that gave me more information on this. And it was just a great way to start a conversation with them. So I went on and I just asked, let me know what you know about it. Have you done this? What have you experienced? So go on and ask questions. It doesn't even have to be about a health thing. It can be about anything. Show experiences. So if you are on vacation, or you're just out and about and there's something crazy happening. I know, like in Las Vegas, there's a few things, we're walking down the strip and there's crazy things happening there all the time. But that was such an easy place to just go live and just, share with people what we're experiencing.
It's many different things. I mean, like right now, like we're in Minnesota, so like we get to go to the ice sculptures in Stillwater or something like that. Well, we have people on our Facebook from all over that they have no idea that there actually is ice sculptures or that that's even possible. So what for them to see that's like, wow, or show some lifestyle or whatever. I think it was a couple of years ago, I had my kids all on like the little Fisher Price like tractor and a car and this and that, and I did like who's gonna win, and I had them lined up at the top of the hill, yeah. And they all raced down the hill, and so that just creates some good interaction with people, betting on who's going to win, and a good laugh as well. And it shows some character and I guess a little bit of our family, what we're all about. Mm-hmm. But as much of that as you can get out there, so it's just not all It Works or whatever. But again, like obviously I was wearing my It Works gear. Probably isn't a video that we can do without showing a little bit of It Works.
No, we always intentionally do that. I mean, we're always branding ourselves, mm-hmm. because I mean, you'll be amazed how many people have said to us, you know, I don't know even what you do for a living or what it is, but tell me about this black and green that I always see you wearing, or what, I just have to ask you, what works? You know, we'll be out and we'll see people that they obviously are seeing some of our pictures or our lives, and they'll just say, I just have to ask you, what works? What is this it works? Or what is this symbol that we see all over all of your stuff? And so it's cool because it just shows you, and they're usually people that have never liked, commented on anything that we've done, but we'll be out and about and they'll start asking questions. So it's really important that you're always branding yourself. Okay, what else? So whenever you're doing your personal development, if you hear something and you are super touched by it or super inspired by it, that is huge. That's gold right there. So if you listen to something and you feel like, or maybe you go to church on Sunday and you think, oh my gosh, I just want to share a little bit about what I took away from this message. It just touched me so much, or it inspired me so much, or it made me think of this or that. That is a huge one. And I'm going to talk a little bit more even into that one in just a minute on how to maximize that when you're feeling that way. But that's a huge one. You know, go on and throw a fit. Do a Facebook Live party. You can do it in an event, or you can just do it on your page. Maybe say give away some free product, you know, and it doesn't have to be anything big. It can be a keto coffee, or it could be a sample of greens on the go. It can be a wrap if you want. But I mean, really, don't feel like you can't go live. Like, no matter where you are financially, don't feel like you can't give away free stuff, because you can, you know, you can give away small things and people will still interact and they will go hop on that, because it's amazing what people do for one greens on the go sample for free, or a keto coffee for free. So don't feel like you have to give away like a pack of wraps or anything like that. Small things work great too. And then this is a big one too, and I love seeing this, you know, share other people's stories. So if you're out and about with your It Works family and, you know, you hear a story from somebody and it inspires you, you know, if it's appropriate, maybe say, hey, would you be willing to let me hop on live quick? I would love for you to share your story on my Facebook. That's awesome with the products or the opportunity side. Or if it's somebody that's not local, what's cool about Facebook Live is you can invite somebody onto your video. So I could go live on Facebook and I could ask Lynn, like, Lynn, would you hop on with me at this time? I'm going to invite you onto my Facebook. I would love for you to share your story. So that's a great way to talk about other people's stories. Your network's going to see that. So definitely use that to your advantage. I don't see a lot of people doing that, but it's something that I think could be so, so powerful, and I really love that feature. So those are just a couple of ideas. Like I said, there's definitely so many more. So if you guys have more ideas, definitely throw them in the chat. Or if you have questions as I'm going through this stuff, throw them in the chat and I'll make sure to go through and answer those at the end of this. But those are just some ideas on what to do for Facebook Live. So now I'm going to give you some tips on how to have a successful Facebook Live video, because I feel like, I don't know if you guys would agree with this or not, but I feel like when I'm prepared, I have more confidence and I feel more confident doing things. And so I'm just going to share with you guys some things that I have done, because, you know, a lot of you have heard my story, but when I started in this business, I was extremely shy in the idea of getting in front of people. Like, if you would have told me when I started this business to go on and do a Facebook Live, I would have told you, like, you're on drugs. There's no way that's going to happen. And
if any of you are newer to the Zooms or the team or any of that, Crystal was awfully shy. She was definitely the quiet girl in school.
So I feel like being prepared helps a ton. So I'm going to just talk through some tips, different things that I've learned with Facebook Live. And just really with speaking in general, this will help you if you ever are getting up in front of a group at a party or anything, whatever. Okay, so for a Facebook Live, the first thing you obviously want to do is you want to create a title for your Facebook Live. So at this step, I feel, in my opinion, it's very important to not give everything away about what you're talking about. So try to think of something creative that will pull people in. You know, I loved when WTF launched, because I saw so many people that just said, that's it, I'm throwing a fit, WTF. Or I'll be throwing a fit on Facebook Live this evening, I'm fired up. You know, like, that's the kind of stuff that draws people in. So, you know, you can think of so many different things, but just don't give away everything in your title. Try to leave some mystery and try to think less is more. It's really about the pull. So how can I pull people in instead of pushing what I'm going to be talking about? So that pull is going to be huge because you'll get more curiosity. You'll get more people hopping on because they're going to be like, what is she talking about? What's going on here? So definitely a pull with the title. The next thing is don't take yourself too serious. I think that this is a really important thing with Facebook Live. In my opinion, the more real you are, the better. Because, you know, you'll see videos from people that will say, they'll teach you how to do a professional video and how to have the lighting just right and how to have your framing just right. And I'm not saying that stuff's important, but I think the more real you can be, you know, don't always feel like you have to have your hair done and your makeup done and be in your best outfit. You know, sometimes just being real and showing a lifestyle, you know, I'm not saying do a video and have your kids screaming bloody murder in the background, but maybe at the beginning of it, share and show, oh my gosh, this is my life today. Can anybody relate? And then go in the bathroom and lock yourself in the bathroom for your Facebook Live. So it's quiet. You know, do what you have to do, but be real with it. Don't take yourself too serious. Don't worry if you mess up or you get tongue twisted or you lose your thought. You know, just tell people, oh my gosh, I'm just having one of those days. Can anybody relate? So it just shows that you're a real person, and what's so cool is it shows that anybody can do this business. So I think it's important to just be real. Don't take yourself too serious. With the videos, and especially whenever you have an idea or a thought, when you're inspired, the very best tip I can give you is do not wait to do your video. And I am victim of this. I do it so many times where I don't know why, but whenever I'm getting ready in the morning or I'm in the shower, that's my time to think. I don't know why. So don't do a live in the shower. I'm not saying that. But that's when I get a lot of ideas. So I'll be, you know, getting ready after my shower and I'll just be fired up about something. And instead of just going live with wet hair and no makeup on, I'll wait until I'm all ready. And then the feeling's not the same when I go live, where I know if I would have just done it, it would have had such a different feel to it because I was passionate about it. I was fired up about it. So don't wait, you know, don't plan to plan to plan. There's so many times when I've been in the car and I've thought about something and I'm like, well, I'm going to do that video tomorrow because, you know, I need to go grocery shopping right now. No, I need to do that video in the parking lot, pull the car over, do the video. If it's something that I'm not fired up and passionate about, that's going to be a great Facebook Live. So
the chances are, if it stirs your heart up a bit, it's going to stir somebody else's. You got to get that message out there. And if you sit on it, it's not going to be as powerful because you're not going to be in that moment. And Crystal said she's a victim of it, and I am as well, because I do my morning reading, and then all of a sudden the kids pop out of bed, and then it's a bowl of cereal, and it takes my kids like about 45 minutes to brush their hair for some reason, and their teeth, and I got to be on their back, and you know what I mean? So the morning routine, all of a sudden, by the time I get the kids to school and everything, that message that filled me up, I'm no longer going to be able to dish it to anybody because it's gone. Right now, the only thing I'm thinking is, thank God the kids made it to school on time. So, but I'm telling you right now, the power in that message is like at the instant that message is dished to you. So when Crystal talks about like a church service, I mean, like sometimes I come out of church and I'm just like shaking my head like, man, that was good. And like that would be the best time to share it is right then, you know, but we got to get to breakfast, right?
Mm-hmm.
So no, I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to get the point across that when you're feeling it, just dish it. Let it, you know, like Crystal said, you don't have to have your hair right, and your kids can be, you know, like if you're feeling it, it doesn't matter if your kids are screaming in the background. Show off, you know, this is life, but you know, I've got something to share.
Yep. And I mean, sometimes I feel like too, if you're being stirred to share that, if you get that prompting, then that's a gift. You have something in you. You need to share that if you're getting that prompting. So don't ignore that, because you will make for some great videos when you don't ignore that voice or that feeling, whatever you want to call it. All right. So when you are doing your video, this is the best tip I can give you as far as helping you to stay on task and be prepared. Whenever you're doing a live video, know your intentions for the video. So many times I feel like people go live and they think, okay, I'm just going to wing this. I know what I'm going to talk about, but I'm going to wing it. And it's so important that you have just a few bullet points. You do not want to look like this scripted robot by any means. But for me, I just know that a lot of times if I'm doing a video or I'm sharing a story, you know, sometimes something can distract you, or it could be something you're sharing something and there's some emotion that gets welled up in you and it throws you off track. You forget what where you are going with it. So if you have your intentions in front of you, I like threes. So 3 bullet points of these are my 3 intentions for this video. I know if I get off track or I get caught rambling, whatever it may be, I can look at that. I mean, I'll do that like, Zooms tonight. This is more notes than I would for Facebook Live, but I have my intentions in front of me, so I'm not getting off track. So have your intentions for the video. We watched a Facebook Live today, and it was talking about how to do a successful Facebook Live. And he talked about doing it in what he called chunking. And I've never heard this term before, but I really liked it. So he said, if you are planning on going live on Facebook, or just in general, you're speaking in front of people, and you have 15 minutes or 20 minutes, whatever it may be, chunk it out. So figure out, the first 5 minutes are going to be my intro, the next 5 minutes are going to be my bullet point, and then the last 5 minutes is going to be me wrapping up. So he said, when you go live, tell them about what you're going to tell them about, and then tell them, and then after that, review what you told them. And so I just like that because it just helps to kind of break it down. And so many times people say, gosh, I don't know what I could talk about for 15 minutes, or 10 minutes or whatever, but you would be amazed. Like once you take that first minute out, which we're going to talk about what to do in that first minute in just a minute here, but when you take that first minute out and your last, minute or 2 of wrapping up, and then your 3 points, you will have no problem getting to 10 minutes, getting to 15 minutes, and it'll help keep you on track so you're not rambling, because you don't want to ramble on Facebook, but you want to know, what your points are. Anything I missed on that? Because I know we were just listening to that. It was awesome. There's some good key points.
We were really inspired to share about Facebook Live because there was a phenomenal speaker on Facebook Live at an event we were at just recently. But then also I just watched a Facebook Live video that I was like, Crystal, you gotta watch this, check it out. So, but yeah, I really like what she said about the chunking. That really breaks it down, because I think like if any one of us, I mean, like I'm a victim again right here. I could tell you I should be going Facebook Live daily. But it gets away from me, and it's been about 1.5 years now that I'm still not consistent with Facebook Lives. But so we talked about like what's the scariest part of the Facebook Live, and that's what we're gonna get into here. It's that first minute, that awkward first minute. But yeah, just beyond that, I guess you could jump right into that.
Yeah. So okay. So just a couple real quick things before I get into that, because I'm gonna keep myself on track. Otherwise, I'm gonna be all over the place.
I didn't want to get all over.
Make sure that you are, okay, so we're going to go right into what you're just talking about right now and what to do in the beginning. But another thing just to talk about, like I said, you don't have to be perfect with where your camera's at, any of that stuff, but do make sure that you have decent lighting when you do a Facebook Live. Make sure you don't have a lot of distractions behind you. And something that we heard at this event that we were at is, make sure you're aware of where your camera is at, because, I've seen lives where it's like people are way down here and I'm looking up their nose, or I feel like they're looking down on me, and people don't like to be looked down upon when they're talked to. So like those are just more things that you wouldn't even think about, but they can really make a big difference in your Facebook Live. And just something like getting something like this is, you won't really be able to see it, but like this is a little light ring that I have. Like you can get them on Amazon. There's all different kinds of things. It was like $5, but that makes such a big difference in, the lighting that you have when you're doing a live or you're doing a Zoom or whatever it may be. So things like that make a big difference. So
dude, I look way hotter with that light on.
Wow. Okay, so now we're going to talk about what to do, because one of the things that I see, and I'm victim to it, again, I'm preaching to the choir on some of this stuff, because it's stuff that I have done or I will catch myself doing, and I'm like, don't do that. That's not good. So when you're doing a Facebook Live, the worst thing you can do is just go on and just sit there. Just be like, oh, I'm just gonna wait for people to hop on. And I'm victim of it too, but the reason is because here's the deal. A lot of people are gonna catch the replay. You might have a ton of people on live, but you'll have even more people that catch the replay. So what you wanna think about is right when you go live, that first minute, you're speaking to your replayers, okay? So you're speaking to the people that are catching it on the replay. So a great thing to do is just, pop on and just say, hey, Facebook friends, happy Thursday. I'm so excited to be on with you guys today. It's a beautiful day in Minnesota. The sun is shining. We got the kids off to a great start today. Oh my gosh, I love when that happens. That's awesome. But I'm so excited to share with you guys about what I'm going to talk about today. So definitely, for those of you that are hopping on live, let me know where you're tuning in from. And for those of you that are hopping on a replay, I'd love you to pop an emoji below right now so I can know that you're catching on via the replay. So pop your favorite emoji down below. Let me know where you're tuning in from.
I just want to pause it right there. So what just happened is Crystal just took up like probably about 30 seconds, maybe 40 seconds of time just now. And meanwhile, now it's like boom, boom, boom. You know, people are hopping on, and now you can all of a sudden start doing like the, hey Claire, hey Bobby, you know, whatever. So now you get to eat up a whole minute of time while people are hopping on. Janessa loves that. But here's the thing.
Hey Janessa, hey girl.
So we've been talking about it and practicing it, but we can eat up the full first minute right now. You know, it's something that we've kind of like been talking about. It's like, man, that needs to be practiced, because if you practice that first minute of hopping on a live, that's the most awkward part of the live. If you can get past that first minute with a little bit of confidence and a little bit of an outline of what you're going to say and keep people's attention, man, that is the most powerful part. Because if you can keep them on for that and say, so here's what I actually, you know, want to get to today, and we've already announced that because we're going to come on right away and announce that or whatever, but just to get through that first awkward minute is huge. So I thought that was a huge note that we learned today.
Yeah, and something that we were talking about that we just want to throw out to you guys as a challenge, because I know this is something that's helped me a ton in my business, is practice this. You know, I know it sounds so silly, but go in front of the mirror, set a timer for 1 minute, and pretend you're doing a Facebook Live. And it might sound super silly and super dumb, but I do that all the time because that's how I grow my confidence. I would rather sound stupid in front of myself in the mirror than go on and not kill it, you know, in the beginning of my Facebook Live. So go on and do it, and you'll be amazed just by practicing it and slowing down, you know, how quickly a minute will go by. And if nobody hops on, then that's fine. Just be like, all right, well, I see some people hopping on, so I am going to go ahead and just get right into this. You know, it doesn't matter if anybody's on live or not, because people will catch the replay. Okay, so just a few more tips, and then we're going to hop into it because I know we're getting close to time. When you're doing your Facebook Live, ask for comments and ask for interaction. So if it's something that's helpful for you, when you're writing down your 3 intentions, maybe jot down a couple questions that you want to make sure that you're asking the audience. Because the more comments you have, that's why we always say, if you're catching us via the replay, go ahead, like I'll do a lot. If you're on live, put a 1 down below. If you're on via the replay, pop a 2 down below. Because the more comments you have on Facebook, the more interaction you have saying, where's everybody tuning in from? What are you guys doing today? Asking questions. The more comments you have on there, the more Facebook is going to say, okay, this is important. People are interacting on it. They're going to show it to more people. So, you know, before you go on, maybe think of 2 or 3 questions that you're going to ask to people. And it might just be saying, are you catching this live or via the replay? Make sure that you are, finding creative ways to share your lives. If it's something that's appropriate to be shared, definitely ask your audience to share the video. You'd be amazed how many people do not have any problem sharing your content, and then it's going out to their Facebook network and their Facebook friends. And you can see when people do that. So always make sure to thank them for that as well. So if it's somebody that's on live and it says, you know, just shared your video, thank them on that live video, because that's one of the cool features about Facebook Live is that you can interact with people. So make sure you are interacting. I know for me personally, I get super distracted by the comments on the live feed. So typically what I'll do is I'll, you know, watch the comments for the first minute or 2 while I'm kind of welcoming everybody on live. You know, I'll kind of maybe say just different things to interact with people hopping on. And, you know, maybe we're picking on Janessa today, so she's the first one on my screen here. So maybe it's Janessa, and I just say, oh my gosh, Janessa, that recipe you posted this morning, I haven't been able to stop thinking about it. I'm so excited to make it tonight. If you guys, I think she called it cracked chicken. Oh my gosh, if you're friends with Janessa, go to her page and watch this video, you know. So just different things like that. Interact with people that are hopping on. Try to make it a goal to keep your videos to 15 minutes. 10 to 15 minutes is kind of the sweet spot. Once you go past that, sometimes they can be too lengthy, and then shorter than that, you're not giving people a ton of time to hop on and interact and all that kind of stuff. So 10 to 15 minutes is kind of that sweet spot.
And we say that, but your goal should be just to hop on, even if it's 2 minutes.
Yep.
Like we said, eat up that first minute, deliver a message in the second one, but here's what's going to happen. We say 2 minutes, I bet you go 5.
Yep, Absolutely. And the more you do it too, it's like the first one might be kind of short, but then the next one might be a little longer and a little longer. So it's not something that has to be perfect. The very first time you do it, the more you do it, the better you'll get. Keep in mind prime time, and again, this isn't to exception of that rule. If you're really feeling it, I don't care if it's 2 o'clock in the morning. If it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you are feeling it, go on and do your live. It does not matter. Go on and do it. But if it's something that you've kind of been planning on doing, prime times, I always try to think about morning. A lot of people I see doing coffee talk. I love that because what a great time to like have your keto coffee, maybe even mix it up while you're waiting for people to get on. Just say, okay, well, we're waiting for some people to hop on here. I'm going to be mixing up my keto coffee. A great way to plug it, and then maybe share about something that you want to share about. So mornings are a really great time. The lunch hour is awesome because a lot of people, if they are working 9 to 5s, they're at lunch, they're scrolling on their Facebook. And then evenings when kiddos are in bed is another really good time because I know usually so past like that 8:30 to 9 o'clock, that's a good time because there's people that are still on and it's quiet in their house, and that's a good time for people to hop on. And then Sundays are always a super powerful time to get on. I've shared about this before, but Sundays are a great time to get on and bring inspiration. And even with your posts, Sunday is the day to bring light and bring excitement because, we heard a statistic that 20% of heart attacks, 20% more heart attacks happen on Monday. And so a lot of people say that's because it's the day that people have to go back to work. They have to go back to the grind. They don't like what they do. They have anxiety. And so on Sunday, people are depressed and it's like the weekend's over and back to reality. And so it's a great time for you to just bring light and bring inspiration. People will be drawn to that. So that's just a good kind of thought to keep in there. And then, like I said, after your Facebook Live has concluded and you've kind of wrapped up what you wanted to talk about, make sure that you're going through and you're commenting on each post because each comment, you're commenting back because that's going to help with the algorithm. And also it's going to help build that relationship. If somebody pops on and says, hey, tuning in from Minnesota, just hop on and say, hey, girl, or, whatever. Not everybody talks like that, but however you talk. Hey, friends, so good to see you, or thanks for hopping on, whatever it may be. Go through, answer questions, interact, and you don't have to do it right away. It can be a couple hours later to try to get the post, the video to continue to be seen. Usually I wait a little bit before I kind of go back and interact, but those are just some things that you can do that will help to make for a successful live video. So hopefully I gave you guys some tips that will help, and they will help you to feel more confident when you're doing your live videos. This is something that I want to really encourage you to work on because it's going to help you with speaking to people. It's going to help you to get your network to get to know you better. It's going to help with your confidence, and it's going to help your stuff to get seen more on Facebook. So all around, you're going to win.
It's a way more powerful way to deliver a message than a post,
Absolutely.
especially with the way Facebook is right now. So definitely huge. You should do one more mock run at that first minute. Just like a.
Why don't you do it? You do it. You go.
What's
I'm
up,
gonna read the
Facebook?
chat.
Woo, wow, it was a beautiful day out there. Come on, give them.
No, you go. I'm reading the chat. Go.
You did damn good.
All right, whatever. Okay, I'm just reading through the chat quick before we start our Power 30. Make sure if there's any questions that we have. Yeah, Janessa said results goals are huge because it helps to hold you accountable. I think that's what you're saying, right? Helps hold you accountable. Let's see. All right, we're good. I don't think we have any questions. Does anybody have any questions? You can unmute yourself too and speak up if you have any questions on anything that I went over.
I love the idea of asking other, whether it's sidelines or uplines or whatever, teammates to hop on with you. Because I've asked people to, hey, I'm going to go live. Can you just hop on and interact? But if they're going to hop on and actually be excited, like that's a whole nother level.
Maybe we can just announce it on Legacy Makers. Like just put a post in there. I'm going live in 15 minutes or something like that. Could you please hop on?
Yeah. Yeah, or and even take it to anyone want to hop on with me, and then you can do the back and forth.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that it has and I've done it a couple times more when I've done like a party, so like a Facebook type party, but it's just something I've been thinking about because stories are so powerful. And, people hear your story, they might hear it over and over again, but maybe they can't relate to me. So then I have somebody else hop on and they hear their story and they can relate to it. And now they're kind of intrigued by the opportunity, or maybe it's even a product testimony, and now they're kind of intrigued by the products because somebody hopped on that they can relate to a little bit more. So I think bringing that third party in is so powerful. So absolutely, I think, that's a great plan. If people want to hop on Legacy and say, hey, I'd love to go live today, and have somebody share a little bit about why they're excited about this opportunity, or what this opportunity has done for them, or what some of these products have done for them, would anybody be willing to swap? And then maybe you guys swap. You do my Facebook Live, and then I'll go on and do a Facebook Live with you later this week or whatever. I think that could be super powerful.
Denise Manny's pumped. She's inviting you all on her Facebook Lives.
I love it. Well, and it's just the more that you can share your story. Sometimes sharing your story on somebody else's Facebook, because it's their network, it can be less intimidating than when it's your network. And it's just great practice. The more you share your story, the more you speak, the better you're going to get at it, the more confident you're going to be at it. So it's a win all around.
And if you have like people on your team that are shy about it, say, all right, I'm inviting you, just to try to get them out of their comfort zone. I think that could be.
And you can coach them through it. I know, like, sometimes, like, if I have somebody that's a little bit more nervous, yeah, it's so much easier because I can say, okay, these are the 3 points that I'm going to kind of hit on, and you can coach them through it. So if they do get caught up or stumble or whatever, you can kind of help them work through that. So it's all good. It works awesome.
Did Janessa seriously comment, everybody should be friends with Janessa?
Yes, ma'am.
I agree.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
All right, you guys. Well, I am going to go ahead and stop the recording. I will get this up on Legacy for anybody who wasn't able to join us live, and then hang tight because stick with us. Christina's going to be coming on and leading us in our Power 30 so we can end the night with a little work session.